What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is having a good day. So want to make a quick video here for you guys just on a couple of tips if you're looking for a new bike, or like if you're a new rider looking for what type of motorcycle you should buy for yourself. I still consider myself a new rider. I started riding back in 2022, and I've had a couple different bikes already. I've had a cruiser, two naked bikes, and this other cruiser. So I have a pretty good idea on what kind of motorcycle is right for me just by my experience, and I just want to pass that on to you guys. So if you're watching this video, as I mentioned, you're looking for a bike, so any bike is right for you. I mean, if you want a sports bike, get a sports bike, but there are a couple of things to consider. Okay, so it's important to keep in mind the needs for your body too when you're buying a motorcycle, right? So I'm a short rider. I started riding on a Yamaha boat, and that bike felt fine, but it felt heavy for me because I didn't have experience riding. But actually, I got used to the weight on that bike pretty quick, so that's not a bad beginner bike. I actually like that bike for a beginner. But it felt sluggish and heavy because I didn't have any experience. I'm sure I would like that bike much more now. And a couple of things to consider is your height, because one of the things for me, the MT-09, Yamaha MT-09 was my dream bike, and I ended up buying one. I love the engine on that bike. I love that bike in general. I mean, it's so nimble, it's so fun to ride. It is just a really awesome bike. The problem is I'm a short rider, and not being able to touch the ground when I get to a stop light like this. It's not that I couldn't do it. I did. I mean, I put, I think, 7,000 miles on my Yamaha MT-09, and it was fine. It was doable. But you know, there are times at the parking lot that I wanted to just sit on the bike and push it over some obstacle and not be able to, and not feel like I could drop the bike at any time. So that's something that always bothered me, not being able to flat foot or, like, you know, touch the ground with ease. So your height and the height of the bike that you're looking for, that's something to consider. Another thing is your physical need. For example, my MT-09 was very comfortable to ride, but I have a problem with my left knee. And being on the bike for over like 35-40 minutes, my left knee would hurt. It would hurt really bad, right? So not something that was very fun to deal with. I love riding the bike. I love the motorcycle, the engine and everything. But when you're riding for 40 minutes and you start feeling knee pain, it's the ride is not enjoyable anymore, right? So yeah, your body needs. So that's something that's very important when you're getting a motorcycle. Another thing is what type of bike you like. If you want something more sporty, then yeah, you need a naked or a sports bike. But I would also consider an adventure bike, like an adventure sports bike, like the Tiger Sport 800, just because that bike is not super aggressive, but it is still aggressive enough. It has enough power. It would be comfortable on the freeway. And I know a lot of people prefer to have bigger engines, but you know, when you get a bigger motorcycle, you're limited by how nimble the motorcycle is. And if you're riding in town a lot, you're gonna feel that. So I always think about the engine size, which is why I got the Indian Scout. It's because I want to feel comfortable. Man, there's so many potholes on this area. Comfortable for long rides. It is still comfortable for the city. So a mid-weight bike, I think, might be the best type of motorcycle for most people. I know a lot of people think, well, 1200 GS would be way better. Yeah, it would be way more comfortable on the freeway for sure. But an 800cc can do freeway speeds with no problem. You're not gonna feel much rattling. My MT-09, I could chill on the freeway at like 80, 90 miles per hour, not have any issues. Bike had plenty of power, like plenty of passing power at those speeds. So don't feel like you need a litter bike. A lot of my thoughts on this are a litter bike. Of course, it is going to be a lot more powerful, but for the city and the freeway, an 800cc motorcycle has plenty of power. It's nimble enough. It is super fun to ride. It's nice because it is small enough for you to do city riding, but big enough for you to do highway. Okay, and do highway comfortably, not just be able to get on the freeway. But when it comes to the motorcycle size, it also depends on what type of motorcycle. For example, a naked bike like an MT-07, like a mid-size, a lower mid-size bike, like the 600s and maybe 700, they can do freeway just fine. But I found that on the MT-07, it was very lightweight. And if you live in a windy area, so that's another thing, the location where you live and the weather. So if you live in a windy area like I live right now, if I was on the MT-07, the wind will be blowing me to all sides, right? So I will be thrown around on the lane all over. The MT-09 was not that much heavier than the MT-07, but because of the distance, like the distance between the front and back wheel, it made the bike a lot more comfortable, a lot more stable on the freeway. So that's something to consider too. The MT-09 was not as nimble as the MT-07, so it was mainly for city riding, really. So not only where you live, but also where you want to ride. That's another thing you should consider. So I didn't plan this video, guys. I'm just whatever comes to mind, I'm throwing it at you guys with my experience on riding motorcycle. Okay. Put your fucking phone down, fucking retard. Alright, so I started recording this part, but some asshole threw me off by being on his phone. So those are the main points that I can think of, guys. It's basically your height. Do you feel comfortable enough by just touching one foot on the floor when you get to a stop? It's doable. It's not that it's impossible. It's just, I did it. And it was totally fine. The only issue is that I wanted to feel comfortable when riding. I feel like comfort for me was a big thing. Being able to get to a stop and put both feet on the ground without any issues, without feeling like I could drop my bike at any time. That was huge, which is why I got a bike that is short to the ground. I don't think it would totally stop me from buying a bike if I couldn't flat foot both feet. I bought the MT-09. So if you really want a bike that you can't really touch both feet, go for it. But just keep in mind that there's a higher chance of you dropping it, because it's not going to be as easy to move it around as if you could just sit on the bike flat-footed and then move it around. Another thing is your body needs. So keep in mind that, if you have body pain, that might affect which motorcycle you should be getting. So I got this bike which has forward controls, and I'm very happy with forward controls, because I can ride for over an hour now and have no knee pain. So that's one thing to keep in mind. The other thing is your location. If it's windy, you don't want to get a bike that is too lightweight, because if you're gonna ride on the freeway on a bike that's too light, it's gonna throw you around a lot. The type of riding you want to do. If you want to ride in the city a lot, get a smaller bike if that's your main thing to do, right? Because the wind is not going to affect you as much in the city. It's mainly when you're on the highway. So like a 700cc bike would be perfect. Very nimble. I would stay away from liter bikes unless you really want one, just because, a liter bike is heavier. It's not nimble. I feel like the perfect motorcycle size is between 800-900 cc's. This is a 1200, but this is a cruiser, so it is a different type of motorcycle. They're usually geared differently. So for power, I went for a 1200. I didn't go for an 1800cc cruiser, because that's the thing too. It's like an 1800cc is gonna be heavier. It's gonna feel heavier when you get to a stop and things like that. So leave a question. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment. Thank you guys for stopping by. I haven't been able to record much recently. I've been doing some construction in my house, and I also have 2 kids. So yeah, feel free to leave a question, and thank you guys for the support. Leave a follow, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.